For the Bumblebee movie, Takara, the company that makes Transformers in Japan, decided to make a leader class sized Optimus Prime that was only sold in the Japanese market. And this guy is super, super cool. I've talked about him a few times in the past. I did a shorts on him where it's kind of a debate on whether or not Takara kind of knocked off a knockoff. I might do a full video on him at some point, but I'm showing him off because Takara Tomy just did it again. Ultimate Optimus Primal. It's essentially a classic leader class-sized Optimus Primal, and I adore it. It's essentially an homage to the original Beast Wars Optimus Primal toy. It's got tons of the same gimmicks, it's got tons of the same features, and it's got a lot of the same spirit of it. It's really refreshing to see a nice, big Optimus Primal toy for this movie that isn't an animatronic or a silly flip changer or anything. It's just refreshing to get a nice, big Optimus Primal. And honestly, this Takara Ultimate Optimus Primal is probably one of my favorite toys from the Rise of the Beast line so far. I absolutely adore it. However, before we talk about these toys a little bit more, I got to give appreciation to a nice box. And it's just a nice box. Very nice presentation. Transformers Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal. Even though I feel like it's called something different in Japan. I feel like Rise of the Beast is called something different. Authentic Takara Tomy product as sold in Japan. I guess this is like a layer that Hasbro puts over it. I guess this is like a Hasbro kind of deal, because we open up the rest of the box and we get the Takara box. Alrighty, here it is. Still says Rise of the Beast, oddly, but you can see some pictures of the toy, the monkey mode, the swords, the missiles, all the arm cannons, flip out faces. It's got so many fun features, man. This is a feature-packed toy. I love that render of Primal, by the way. This is just such a fun thing. Look at all of the, like the little Arms Micron Battle Beast Alliance dudes on him. This is just such an awesome box. I love boxes like this. Unfortunately, I don't have the space to keep it around. That's why I wanted to make a video kind of commemorating this box before I inevitably throw it away. Because I'm not here for pictures on cardboard. If I was, I'd be talking about Pokemon or Lorcana or whatever. No, I like robots. I like robots. That's what we're here for. And this Optimus Primal, I love it so much. Again, showing it with this Optimus Prime, you can see it is pretty good, like old leader class size. It's a little small. Let me bring in one of my absolute favorite old leader classes, Starscream. So you can see it's still, you know, kind of on the smaller side, but it's definitely comparable to like the post Age of Extinction leader class, before we started getting all these like Voyager pluses. You know, it's bigger than, say, Scourge. You know, it's bigger than Scourge. Significantly bigger. This Primal, though, is packed. It just has so much going on, and I adore it. So, it's huge, right? It's huge. But it still has a lot of nice articulation. You know, you can move the head. It's got a nice big shoulder joint. It's got a nice swivel at the elbow. Got a nice deep elbow. It's got hand articulation. It's got finger posability. I think that's super cool. It's got a waist swivel. It's got hips that are all nice and big and clicky. Listen to that click, man. That's so nice. Thigh swivel, knee bend. It's got ankles that tilt side to side. It's such a big, substantial toy. I love it so much. It does have the swords. You can separate them. You can have one sword in one hand, one sword in the other hand. I think that's really cool. It doesn't have like the chain like we saw in the trailer and like the Studio Series leader class has, but I think that's cool. Definitely an homage to the original Beast Wars Optimus Primal, just having two cool swords. You can, just like that original Beast Wars Primal, put him on his back. It doesn't tuck in as neat and tidy as the original Beast Wars, but you can still put it back there, and I really appreciate that. So that's one gimmick that this guy retains from that one. If it plugs in, there we go. I said if it plugs in, there we go. Anyways, another thing he has is arm cannons. So the original Beast Wars had an arm cannon, and then it had like a mace. This guy just has two arm cannons. Just two spring-loaded arm cannons. There goes both the swords. Setting those off to the side, because I'll need to take those off for another gimmick anyway. You can see it's just got arm cannons that pop out. It's really cool. I really like that. Another thing this guy kind of retains from the original Beast Wars toy is a battle mask gimmick, because you can see he's wearing his battle mask right now. Looks really cool. Looks really awesome. Love this head sculpt. Let's get in a little closer on that so we can see some of the detail. That's just really nice, dude. I love that. That just looks so cool. However, Let's flip the mask. And this is pretty similar to what we've seen with a lot of other like Takara flip face figures. Just lift it up, flip the face, flip it down. And here we have him without the mask. And I think that looks pretty neat. It's not like the full-on removed mask like we've seen in like the 3-0 figure, or like I think super briefly in the movie, where he kind of has that Transmetal 2 sort of like gorilla nose. But it's like the classic Optimus Primal face where it's just the mouth showing and the rest of the battle mask is still kind of there. Really do like that. It's just really nice overall. I love the dark colors. I love the gunmetal grays. It's just really, really nice, man. I just really like this. I like it a lot. It does have the missiles on the shoulders as well. It's kind of difficult to get these out, though. It's not as easy as I would kind of hope. You do have to flip out these little panels right back here. And if you leave the missiles in, it just kind of makes it harder because the missiles get in the way. But they're on multi-hinges. Kind of want to hinge them up and out of the way a little bit. And again, those missiles really do kind of get in the way. Even for transformation, the missiles kind of stick out a little too far. Rotating the waist actually helps this. You get a little bit more clearance. But moving this back, we can get these flipped out. And he's got the shoulder missiles. And I do love the little touch of red too, because, you know, it's a classic Optimus Primal color. He's got to have some red in there. And yeah, he's just got the little shoulder missiles. Looks really cool. Unfortunately, they're not spring-loaded. They're just flick fire. So you can see it's just like a little ball in there. And it just kind of clips in. You flick it, and it fires. It is what it is. It's not too bad. But still, I appreciate the inclusion. It's really nice. I do have to say I prefer him with the battle mask. He just looks cooler with it. I just love this toy so much, man. It's so big and substantial. Like, this is what I really wanted out of an Optimus Primal. Speaking of Optimus Primal, here he is side by side with the mainline Voyager class that made a little cameo in the thumbnail. So you can just see the size difference. Like, if you want a big, substantial Optimus Primal toy, look no further than this. And honestly, I said it's about classic leader class size, and it's about classic leader class price. I got it for about $60, which is a little more expensive than a leader, but not by much. Only by $5. And honestly, you know, in my opinion, I think the difference in value between Scourge and Optimus Primal here is way more than $5. Even though I do have to say, like, Scourge is no slouch. You know, he is looking kind of big next to Primal here. And obviously, one of the last little gimmicks they advertise are all the little hard points where you can just plug in the little Beast Alliance guys. I don't really have one right here on hand. It's just the standard port system. So let's plug on G.I. Joe crossover Megatron's fusion cannon, I guess. So you can see, yeah, I can just plug stuff all over him. It's kind of neat. I appreciate it. Alrighty, with all that out of the way, I think it's about time we transform him, because honestly, I love the robot mode on this guy, but I actually think I prefer the gorilla mode. And that's very rare for me. Typically, for an Optimus Primal, I prefer the robot, but the gorilla on this is just so well done. So it's pretty easy to transform it. One of the first things I actually do suggest is rotating the waist, because you definitely want a lot of clearance to separate the chest like this. You definitely need a lot of space there. Let's flip the cannons back in. And again, you can kind of see where those missiles are kind of tucking in by the hips and everything. They're going to get in the way. They're going to get in the way. That's just the nature of it. We can do the flip me do for the head. We do want to take that panel and collapse that down. Move those panels back down, collapse that back down, and fold all that back in. And here we can see an issue with these missiles. Honestly, it's so much easier to just leave them out, but you can keep them in. That's the thing. You kind of have to take those missiles and pluck them from the from the thighs there. And then we get that plugged in, rotate the chest, plug that in, so now we can see the monkey pecs. And then one of the last things we got to do, take this big back panel, rotate that, move that down. And the legs, they collapse pretty well. Get all that collapsed. We do want to flip the robot toes back to kind of leave some more space for the gorilla toes. And get those shoulder pads down. Get those monkey paws forward. And here we go. Here's Optimus Primal in his gorilla mode. And I do have to say, this is very, very impressive. Like, just this pose right here with that head slightly tilted. It just looks so good. This guy's colors do make him a little hard to film, since he is so dark with all these little gunmetal grays. It's kind of hard to capture it. I do love the green eyes, though. I think the green eyes look really good. This is just such a nice Optimus Primal. For me, it's the best one on the market right now. I definitely am looking forward to the Studio Series leader, but again, it is kind of a Voyager Plus, isn't it? It does come with a lot, though. It comes with the Transwarp Key, Megatron, or Optimus Prime's axe. I don't know why I said Megatron. He's got nothing to do with this. It does come with a chain that you can give to Battle Trap. It comes with a lot, but, you know, we'll see if I feel like it's worth it. We'll see. But I love Optimus Primal, and no matter what, I really wanted this one. I love the arch to the back. I feel like that just naturally folds away really good. And we can have him standing up a little bit. I do have to say, unfortunately, the head articulation, you do kind of have like this, multi-hinge system where you can have him looking up and you can have him looking off to the side, but you can't have him looking very straight on. So he's always going to be looking up a little bit, especially if you kind of want him in like a chest-pounding pose or something. He's always kind of going to be looking up. It's just, the nature of the give and take. Like, do you want him turning his head side to side, or do you want it like looking up and down? And for me, I really appreciate the side to side. I think it really benefits the toy. This is just a fun toy. That's the thing about it. If you're looking for like the most accurate figure of Optimus Primal to add to your collection, the Studio Series comes out in a couple months. I'm just going to say it. The Studio Series comes out in a couple months. Why is this not wanting to plug in? That has been such an issue throughout this whole video. I don't know if you noticed. It just doesn't want to plug into this side. There we go. Let's try the other one. Maybe that'll do it. Yeah. Let's just switch them. So yeah, that is something to keep in mind. There is a Studio Series one coming out. But if you just want a big, nice toy of Optimus Primal, look no further than this, man. This is it. It's kind of a shame that this is not going to really get a United States release, because I really feel like it deserves it. I feel like this is something that could be sold in stores for, leader class price, maybe a little bit more, and I think people would go crazy for it. I think kids would love it. It really just feels like this is the Rise of the Beasts equivalent to the original Beast Wars toy. It doesn't do everything the original Beast Wars toy does. It doesn't have like the chest pounding gimmick. It doesn't do all of it, but it has a battle mask, it has the swords, it has the arm cannons, it has the shoulder cannons, it has the size. It's just so comparable to that original toy that I can't help but love it. I really do enjoy this one, and I highly recommend it. If you're a Rise of the Beast fan, I've been making tons of videos about the movie. I've been so hyped over the movie. It came out months ago, but I still think about it all the time. It's one of my favorite Transformers movies. It's very nice to have this Optimus Primal. I really genuinely enjoy it. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Let me know what you think about him down in the comments below. Again, me personally, I really like it. I really recommend it. It's just so fun. It's just a big, fun Optimus Primal, Not much to talk about, though. Like, the video was pretty short, but it is what it is. Big, fun Optimus Primal. Go get it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.